So you got your car built, you want to customize it, you want to make it your own. I'm going to show you how to do that today. In this video, we are going to take our Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive car and use water slide decals to make it look cool and give our own little personal touch to it. So if you like Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive cars or anything hobby related, like and subscribe. So this can be used, these water slide decals, just to give a nice little touch. These ones are Gundam ones. They're I think from the Witch from Mercury. So we're just going to grab a couple off here and I'll show you how to apply them to your car. And in a sense, it's pretty much the same thing as doing it to a plastic model. First up, what we want to do is choose where we want to place the decal. And then you can use alcohol. These are alcohol wet tissues, so these work pretty well. And this is just to clean up the spot. So just find the spot. I'm going to do one on each side. And for this, what we will need is what you want to put your decal on, water. You will need something to cut out the decal. And then tweezers, you don't need them, but it helps a lot. People use toothpicks and just their fingers too. And then some type of water slide decal. It doesn't have to be Gundam, it can be pretty much anything. Tamiya makes lots of them, but I just have Gundam ones sitting around. There's Kojima ones, all that stuff. Anyway, this stuff, this mark softener and mark setter, this are going to make your life a lot easier. I have noticed that the mark setter dries very quickly, so you don't have as much time to work with the decal once you are ready to apply it. But I will show you how to do it with and without. So the first one we're going to put on right here. The alcohol is just to get it clean. Alcohol dries quickly. So we're going to put the first one right here on the car. So this is the Dash Emperor 01. I use the 01 for the Evangelion down here. So we can use this one from over here. And what we're first going to do is just cut it out. Quite simple. Just cut, there's a little border around this sticker. And then I guess try not to cut into the other ones if you want to use them. And that will just pop out like so. Now we have our number 1. And you just take your water, leave it off to the side a little bit just so it doesn't dribble everywhere. And stick it in. They'll usually go face down. That's okay. We'll get our tweezers. You can just flip it back over if you want. You don't really need to let it, I think on the actual instructions it says like 5 seconds. I usually let it sit for about 15, 10, 30. It doesn't really matter. And then when it comes out, a lot of water will kind of pool with it. So I'll just set it on like a little blob of water pretty much. And then I'll let it sit for maybe a minute or so. What you'll see is it'll start to kind of separate and you can like slide it around a little bit on the paper. So we'll wait for that. So you can kind of see the little blob here that I got going. There's a border around the sticker. You can see how the water, maybe not, kind of sticks to it a little bit, I guess. If you want, you can just dab that off onto your cutting board. I wouldn't use like a tissue or anything, but if you just kind of like tap it like that, you can see the little bubbles of water. Alright, and then choose, if you drop it, it's fine. Choose kind of where. I like to orient it so it's in the right direction at least. with kind of where I want to get it put on. And you can take a knife, you can take a toothpick, you can take a Q-tip as well. I got a Q-tip here. I'll use a Q-tip for this. And you just push it kind of against it and slide it like the name implies. Right off like that. And when you put it down, you have a few seconds to work with it. So you can kind of move it, adjust it, like, oh, it's not straight, or a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. When I look at this, it doesn't really look like a 1. And then I'll take the other side of the Q-tip and just kind of like roll it. If you push too much, and this is just to get the excess water off. If you push too much, it's going to slide. If you just give it some dabs, and then you are good to go. So that is the general way of how to do it. And next up, what we can do is use these two. The softener is generally used for something with a little bit of, I guess like a curve or a part like this that has a line across it, and that helps just get it over. So you can see like these stickers are cut here so it can go in between there. And this sticker, a 5-year-old did this, by the way. It doesn't really sit flush with the car. And that's what the softener really, or soft, I don't know why you call it softer. This is what this does to help kind of go with the curvature of where you're placing it. Alright, but one thing it does do is it helps kind of like, helps it not disintegrate, but kind of mold along it. So it makes it stick better, apparently, to the plastic. So for this one, we're going to put it right here. A little bit of paint there, but that's okay. I don't think it'll come off with this, but I can clean it off if I really wanted to. I don't think it'll be any problem with this though. And if you paint, you can clean the paint off with ketchup pen. You can also dab this onto a Q-tip or something. With things like the Gunpla markers, it works really, really well. Like there's a lot of places that are going to need to get cleaned up on this one. It's just, that's probably another video in itself. Okay, so now we're clean and ready to go. So we need to pick the next decal. I'm thinking either let's do the fireball. I was thinking maybe the lion, but it doesn't really go with the motif too much. I think the red would be cool too. Let's do, no, I don't want it to not be straight. This one doesn't matter if it's straight. So let's do this one. All right, so we got it cut out. Put it in the water. So when you put it in the water face up, it'll sit like that. The water will basically soak through the bottom. So that's fine. But I like to give it a little push just so it soaks up and it will sink to the bottom. At least it has every time that I've done it. And again, just let it sit for a little bit. I did clean up the little water blob, but it will make its own new water blob. So now we pull it out. If I can get a handle on it. Let it sit for a second. I usually open these just so they're like ready to go. While I'm waiting for the decal to actually start going and getting itself removed from the paper. So it's probably good. So take the setter, you just brush off any excess and then place it on here. Just a nice thin coat is fine. It will mix with the water. And then we can take the Q-tip and slide this off. If you have vices, it actually works a lot easier. And make sure you're not actually holding the border of the decal itself, because they do have a really thin, clear border around them. There we go. I'm going to give it a little bit of an angle, kind of like that. And that looks good to me. And with this too, you can just kind of wipe up the excess. Get all the little air bubbles out from underneath it, if there are any, by just rolling that Q-tip along. Boom. You got your decal on. Next up, what we can do is take the softer and apply a thin layer on top of that. You don't need very much. And that, again, just kind of helps break down the decal a little bit, and it helps it stick on. And we can take our Q-tip again and just kind of do the same thing. Roll or dab off the excess. And ideally what you're going to want to do is let this sit and cure for about a day or so. I think it would be pretty solid. And once everything's done, what you can do is you can get your top coat, spray it down. I wouldn't put the stickers on first, but if you're doing decals, you can put the decals on, then top coat it after they're all dried. There we go. We got the little fireball looking thing there, and the one on that side. So hopefully this will help you get some ideas to customize your mini 4-wheel drive. I think this is a better way than the stickers, but it's impossible to find. These big stickers like this are going to fit perfectly to your mini 4-wheel drive car. So I like to use them in combination. And that's all. So if you found this helpful or liked the video, please subscribe, and we'll get more videos out about how to customize the looks of your mini 4-wheel drive. Thank you.